Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are here at the 2024 edition of the Texas State Fair, and guess what? I have something large and in charge, but also something new sitting right here next to me. What is it? This is your 2025 Toyota Sequoia, but before you say, hold on a second, Sequoia? That's already got a redesign. You are correct, but this is the first ever 1794 edition. But before we get into this full-size Western luxury style Sequoia, let's talk about what's going on here. So it goes all the way back to 2001, believe it or not. That was the birth of the Sequoia. And the Sequoia has really been that go-to for people who want that body on frame, beefy, full-size SUV. Now, of course, there's many different grades, and we brought you those different grades, going from the Platinum to the new Top Luxe Capstone, and of course the TRD Pro. But where this 1794 edition falls into alignment is right between the Top Capstone and the Platinum trim. But what I want to find out is this the best new full-size luxury SUV you should be adding to your garage? Let's go ahead, let's dive into the 1794 edition and find out. Right off the bat, you have that nice full-size SUV. And what I like about the Sequoia is the overall dimensions compared to, say, a Tahoe or a Yukon. It's not so boxy. It's got some of that characteristic that you want, but it has some other nice design elements. Now, when we go 1794 edition, you're gonna get your full LED lighting, of course. Projector beam LED headlights. Love the way they have the daytime running lamp, full LED, and the turn signals. One zonk I do have is they don't have, well, actually, no, yeah, it's not a zonk. It's actually functional in the corners here, so we don't have to zonk that. One of the things that I do like about the Sequoia over the Tundra, which it sits on the same chassis, is I love the functionality of the corner air curtain here to help flow that air. Now, when we go 1794, you come around the front, this is the grille you're gonna get. It's a nice sort of between an aluminum style finish and a chrome finish on that massive front grille. Of course, you got the Toyota badge, a forward-facing camera, and we do have our active shutters that open and close to bring less or more air in to the front of this vehicle. On the bottom portion, you'll notice just a little bit of a light sheen to the black. Of course, we have our LED fog lamps, and then along the bottom, we have that air dam to also help with the aerodynamics. Now, as we rise up, big bold hood, just like the Sequoias that we've already shown to you, but I really like the way they kind of do a little bit of a V style to the hood. Really gives it some extra character. Underneath the hood is gonna be that 3.5 liter twin turbo I-Force Max engine. So it's a V6 with the hybrid technology to give you a nice balance of power, towing, and MPGs. Now, as we come around the bend, this one has a little bit of a unique touch to it. So 1794 edition will have a specific wheel. And if you wonder, why do they call it the 1794 edition? What does that have to do with? It actually has to do with here in Texas, where the factory is that builds the Tundras and these Sequoias is going to be a ranch that was once run all the way back in 1794. That's where that factory is, and that's the tribute that Toyota pays back to those early ranchers. Now, when you look at the wheel and tire setup, this one has the TRD Off Road Pkg. So that's gonna give you the TRD satin black wheels. We've shown you these wheels before. TRD stands for Toyota Racing Development. You will get a unique wheel if you don't go with this package, but this is a 20-inch wheel in diameter. Tires are 265 on the width, and you'll notice that we have those Wild Peak, those Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires, has the shielding to give you the protection. And I like the way they did a little bit of the black around the fender openings. Let me know what you think about it on that fender opening, if you'd rather have it all white. I don't know, I think maybe the all white might be a little bit better because of this being the 1794 edition. Now, as we rise up, you do have that I-Force Max, like I said, that 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission with the electric motor setup. 1794, you're gonna get some bling bling and shiny chrome finish on the mirror caps, your LED turn signals. They still do a nice flat black on the A-pillar, which then flows into that very flat roof that the Sequoia has. Now from the side, you can see how this definitely is larger than a Highlander or even a Grand Highlander. Of course, first time ever, 1794 edition on a Sequoia. You've seen it on a Tundra, now we have it on the Sequoia for 2025. That trim flows nicely along that indentation into the passenger door. We do have the shiny chrome door handles, and I like the way that they continue to use only the bright shiny metalwork along the bottom of the window frames rather than all the way around. Now, if you're gonna be doing some adventuring, of course we have our roof rails. You can get your crossbars. That silver aluminum chrome finish really flows nicely with the other accents that they've done. And to be honest with you, I'm starting to like the black a little bit more just looking at it. I feel like it gives a nice kind of differentiation of color between the white, the black, and the chrome. Now, as we work our way towards the rear, like I said, you have the TRD Off Road package on this particular one. You get your separate badging. And then when we get to the rear of the vehicle, nice long roof spoiler. You still have the ability to open up the glass to get that easy access in and out of the cargo area. So say you forget your boots and your spurs, you could get easy access to those. And then that bold Sequoia name, they kind of tuck in, remember, I-Force Max, that being that hybrid power plant. And then working our way down to ground level, super clean. You have your exhaust outlet kind of hanging down, but it doesn't dangle too low. This cover comes off because remember, you could tow over 8,000 pounds with this Sequoia. But why don't we go ahead, let's get inside and see what big Western luxury they're bringing for this 1794 edition. All right, guys, we are inside this 1794 edition. First time ever on a Toyota Sequoia. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been holding off on a Sequoia. I want to get one. I'm digging this 1794 edition. I've always considered myself a cowboy. I've never been on a ranch. I've never ridden a horse. Hell, I don't even own a cowboy hat. But because I've watched a lot of Bonanza and Gunsmoke, I feel like a cowboy. How much is this? No official pricing yet, but I'm gonna estimate that prices are probably gonna be between $75,000 to $80,000 for this 1794 edition. Because remember, it falls right underneath the top capstone trim. But let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. Two-tone style, just like on the Tundra, you're gonna get that dark soft touch material with the contrast stitching, and then you're gonna have that Western brown finish with the white contrast stitching. No gloss black, soft armrests, and that is open pore American walnut wood. I've seen the trees, I've tasted the walnuts with a little bit of silver trim. And then of course, because we're at the Texas State Fair, we have our cotton candy taco holder right in the center. Now working your way down to the bottom door pocket, not very deep, but plenty of room for a few, not just one, a few of Fletcher's famous corny dogs here at the State Fair. Now going from the door panel to the dash, branded 1794 edition. Love that touch with the open pore wood. Make sure if you're rubbing this wood, you're careful because you might get a splinter. There's more of that two-tone. It almost reminds me of like a saddle, like a horse's saddle with the straps and the stirrups. But anyways, you got your stitching. Come on in. What do we have? That massive 14-inch infotainment system screen, all of the Toyota multimedia software. You've seen it before. And if you haven't, watch any of my other Sequoia videos and you'll see this in action. We got the silver on the AC vents, toggle switches for your AC controls, USB-A. We do have 3 stages of heated seats, 3 stages of ventilated seats. They do take the knobs off at these events because people with sticky fingers like to take a souvenir home from the Texas State Fair. More toggle switches because we have a locking rear diff. Remember, you could tow almost 9,000 pounds with this thing. Our forward-facing camera, look at this. Here we are on display. We're literally on display at the Texas State Fair. Really, really cool. It'd be awesome if you could see Lori working hard over here on the passenger side. You have your shifter for the 10-speed automatic transmission. Remember, we have tons of horsepower and torque from that hybrid iForce Max setup, wireless charging, a place for 2 country Texas Twinkies, more of that open pour wood, open the door, what do we have? There's our key fob. I wish they would do a special key fob for the 1794 edition, but you have 2 cup holders, our mode selector switch, our 4x4 system, because we do have that 4x4 system. You got a nice little tray here for, I would say, some peanut M&Ms. That's actually a Western favorite. They prefer here in Texas peanut M&Ms over just the milk chocolate. Open it up, easy access for some of those elephant ears and funnel cakes. And then watch this, open it up. We got USB-Cs, USB-As, and you could put in here probably 2 lassos, 2. Now here's a little fun fact. How do they measure the height of horses? In hands. That's a true fact. Jeopardy approved. Use that if you're ever on the game show. I'm not done yet. Look at this. Open pour wood, open the door. You have enough room to put your sheriff's badge. You know, back in the Wild Wild West days, those sheriffs took some guts because you didn't have any backup. You could have the badge and walk around here like Texas State Fair Ranger Chuck Norris. The seats, the leather, the perforations. Look at the way they did this center portion here. Really nice. Full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver, and of course you have a ginormous Texas state size panoramic sunroof. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this 1794 edition. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel of this 1794 edition Toyota Sequoia. Now, you'll notice in the pedal box, I like the way they do a nice aluminum brake pedal, throttle. I wish they would give us an aluminum dead pedal, but at least they gave us a nice large dead pedal. And then these special 1794 Sequoia edition floor mats. I like the way they did the rope design on the edge, and these carpet centers are actually replaceable, which is great. But you have, of course, all your seat controls within fingertip reach. You even have the ability, look at this, electric hamstring extension there for underneath to kind of cradle your legs if you have longer legs like I do. I'm 6 feet tall. Front seat passengers are fine on space. Steering wheel, love the leather. The one thing I was hoping for was some type of 1794 edition badge. So we're gonna have to zonk that, but I do like the stitching. Flat black on the switchgear. It is a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel, and it is a heated steering wheel as well. And then you have that beautiful 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster like we've shown you on other Sequoias with the different modes that you can go through. Real nice to have that technology, and there's a head-up display. So they got you covered when it comes to information and really fine-tuning the personality of the Sequoia. But let's get into the mid-row and see how those cowboys and cowgirls are gonna feel in this Sequoia. All right, guys, mid-row time in this 1794 edition. This is the first time I'm literally the first person outside of Toyota sitting in this vehicle, so I do feel a little bit special. Now, your mid-row passengers are gonna feel very special because the seats, just like up front, nice wide piece of Texas-sized real estate to put your body into. Let's see the captain's chairs. That's a zonk. Come on, we're in Texas. This is a full-size SUV. The only brand that does the armrest right is Ford and Lincoln for some reason. So that's a zonk. We need a beefier armrest. Now the backs of the seats, look at the way they bring all the leather. The black, the brown, large pockets. This is where you're gonna be able to put, over on the main street aisle, they have, of course, the churros, all freshly fried up. You could easily put a baker's dozen of churros back there, chocolate covered churros. And then we do have, of course, our little command center with 2 cup holders. We are gonna have our digital readouts for our AC control, ventilated and heated seats for the mid-row. Thank you, Toyota. AC vents down below. Then you're gonna get 2 USB-Cs and a home power source. They got you connected so your phone isn't gonna die. And then when it comes to these seats, let me try to get comfortable here. Are you ready? We're gonna slide them, which they don't slide, which is a zonk on the Sequoia. They do recline. Let me know how you feel about that. I know some people are personally offended by, I know Lori's personally offended that these seats don't slide. So you're gonna have to beg whoever's sitting in front of you to move the seat up if you want to get a little extra room. But they do have this nice little nachos holder. So you get your nachos grande in here, extra cheese, some black olive, some jalapenos, and you could put 2 super Slurpees back here to suck all that down. Just make sure you have a box of Prilosec ready or some Tums to calm your tummy down. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the third row and see what the 1794 edition does for those passengers back there. All right, guys, third row time, and this is an area that if you compare it to the competition, your passengers are going to be wishing that you went with one of the other brands because it's just very, very tight back here. I almost feel like I'm sitting on a high chair like a baby does, but I don't have any room here. I mean, hard plastic. You do have USB-Cs, and I do like the way that they have security shades for the quarter windows and some cup holders. The good news is that the seat does recline a little bit. So at least I'm not grinding my head against the headliner. But for some reason, the people in the third row don't get the same nice leather seats as in this row. The other rows have the nicer leather. But what's great is that you do have a little bit of electric assist, which is nice. But I just feel squished. Let's go ahead though. Let's see if we can finish off on a high note with the cargo area in the Sequoia. All right guys, cargo area of the 1794 edition. We're gonna do it the old fashioned way. Hit the button, nice electric assist. I'm gonna swing around. This is part of the challenge of the Sequoia. So not a lot of room back here, but what I do like is how flexible this system is. So you could actually slide the seats forward, and then they have a nice little platform that actually comes up from this lower area, and now you can make adjustments. So that's the nice thing about how versatile of a system is. Some people, like one of my friends, Joel, feels very offended about this area. It doesn't have as much space as the competition, but it does have a lot of versatility. Of course, you can slide the seat back, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit this button, and then hopefully it goes down, which thankfully it is. The challenge in all of this is notice where the cargo floor is and where the seat is. That's the challenge, and that's why they have this piece here, is to kind of help you smooth out that transition. You see how now we're a little bit more flat? But that's what we're looking at. But what are the actual hard numbers of this setup? So when it comes to this vehicle, what you're noticing is this is 12 cubic feet of space. Now you put the seats down, that's 49 cubic feet of space. And if you put down the mid row, it's 89 cubic feet of space. A lot of room, just not as much room as the competition. I do like the way you have these nice little Twinkie holders here with USB-Cs on the passenger side of the third row. That's another nice touch that they did add. So, I mean, it's got some nice features. It just doesn't have maximum space if that is what you're wanting. One touch operation, which is great. Now, I can't wait to drive this because of the changes that they made for the 1794. It's not time for that, but we need to wrap it up here from the Texas State Fair. All right, guys, I know that it's been a crazy day here at the Texas State Fair. A lot of fried food is being consumed, but you know what? Got to thank the whole Toyota team for allowing us access to this Sequoia 1794 edition 2025. First time ever. Let me know what you think. Has Toyota done the Western luxury theme right on this Sequoia? Or would you rather go with one of the competitors? Let me know down in that comment section, but if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Got to give it up to the love of everybody's life, and especially mine, Lori, working that camera like a champ. Thank you so much for your hard work, Lori. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.